Hello and welcome, once again, to Irish Warrior. It is that time, ladies and gentlemen. After 2 exciting tournaments, we have returned after a relatively long break in comparison to the first 2 tournaments to see how our competitors will perform today. In the first tournament, obviously, you just saw Hunter Unit was the only man to make it to the 3rd stage. But the last tournament, the star of the tournament, unfortunately ended up being the ball glider. It got made much harder, and 5 of the 6 competitors to make it to the 2nd stage went down on that obstacle. It appeared that no one was going to be able to figure it out. Even the man himself, Hunter Unit, was not able to get back to the 3rd stage. But believe it or not, the one man who was able to figure it out was the guy who failed it in Tournament 1, Weapon Matt. He was able to just keep himself under control, get through that very difficult obstacle, and make it to the 3rd stage. The question we have, though, is how will Weapon Matt, as well as our other 6 challengers who made it to Stage 2 in the last tournament, respond after their great runs? Will Weapon Matt be able to go even farther than he did in the last tournament, where he became the first person to defeat the Cliffhanger EX? Fortunately, he went down in the jumping rings. But can he go one step farther, maybe make it to the final stage and achieve total victory today? Or will someone else rise to the top and surprise us and be the first finalist on the show? Those questions will be answered here soon enough. But I'd say let's not waste any more time. Let's go right down to the course and take a look at the first stage. First stage contains 8 obstacles but several changes after the last tournament. It begins with the triangle run. The only real change is that the triangles now move and are loose, so you have to maintain your speed to make sure you get through that. Second obstacle, broken pipes. The pipes are stable, but the soccer ball does move, so you have to kind of make sure that you keep yourself under control on that jump. Third obstacle, the slanted descent, has been made much harder. You now must get a very, very big jump in order to get up on top and then run down this one. Fourth obstacle is the lollipop hop. While it has not been changed, it has been always difficult in each of its first 2 tournaments. And then you have the warp ramp, same as always, climb to the top, and then the rail climb is the 6th obstacle. While the rails itself are the same, the column to dismount on have been made much smaller, so competitors must stay on their toes to make it through that. 7th obstacle then is the lamppost lane, which then gets you onto the mountain cross, which obviously was made easier in the last tournament, but it's still difficult to make these jumps under the pressure of the ticking clock and knowing how close Stage 2 is. If our competitors can make that final jump and hit the mine within 75 seconds, 1 minute 15, they will be moving on to the 2nd stage. So how many of those 20 are going to be able to do it? We will find out here soon enough. But we'll begin with the only newcomer of the tournament, a rando, AM Ravian. Yeah, he just, one day I hosted the lobby for people to try it. He was the only one who actually ran. I don't know. But in any event, he's making his way through the first 2 obstacles really well. Going for the slanted descent. No. Like I said, it got made much harder this tournament, and he shows why. Well, now you have 19 returning competitors for the remainder of the tournament as we go into number 2, Drew TV. First time here since Tournament 1, where he failed the lollipops. Does his usual intro, the hammer knocking down all the weapons, and he's off and made his way through the triangles pretty well. As you can see, the triangles tipping. You just gotta keep your speed up to make it through that. And he's now taking his time here in the broken pipes. He's making his way through though, and he's crossed. Oh, he almost got on top of the slanted descent, but just came up short. And the first 2 competitors have gone down on the 3rd obstacle. Wow. We'll go to another man making his 2nd appearance, and in his first, he also failed the lollipop hop, but that was last tournament. This is IMSO Shift Face. And I think, he's getting a run-up here to start the course, and we'll see how he does. So far, so good through the triangles. Now for the broken pipes. Going for the ball, going for the second pipe, and oh no! He overjumped the pipe. He went too far to the right. He tried to save it, but it was to no avail, and shift is out on the second obstacle, the broken pipes. Well, that's unfortunate, but we're going to roll right into our fourth challenger. This is Bookcase, who set a personal best last time getting all the way to the rail climb. See how he does today, though. He's definitely eyeing that first time clearing stage 1. He knows he can do it. The question is he going to be able to execute on this run as he's making his way through the broken pipes, taking his time before the slanted descent. And no! My goodness! The third competitor of the first 4 to fail this obstacle. Obviously, like I said, I made it harder, but I didn't realize I made it this hard, I guess. Now we have an occasion here for the king of the intro. This is Siren, aka Chris. Chris competed in the first tournament where he failed the rail climb, one of only 4 competitors to fail before the mountain cross. But, you know, he was trying to move fast and just made a costly mistake and he was down on that obstacle. So we'll see how he does today on his second go at the course. Obviously, quite a few changes since the last time he tried it. Now, please note, he's going to be using a sword for this run. Oh my gosh! And with that, he was able to skip the second triangle entirely. Yeah, he said he's going to go back and forth between the sword. I mean, you know, it's there for a reason. More power to you if you want to use it. And he's the first person through the slanted descent. Now through the lollipops. Yep, he's there. And up the warp ramp. He's got plenty of time here. But this is the obstacle he failed in Tournament 1, but he's flying through it. Oh my gosh, he's got 43 seconds. He can take all the time in the world if he needs to here on this last obstacle. Now 37 seconds. He's got half the time left for the last obstacle. But it looks like he's not going to stop. He is just moving very quickly. Oh my goodness. Come on, he's almost there. And he's done it with an unbelievable time. 23.17 seconds remaining. Smoky Master set the all-time stage 1 clear record from the last tournament by a wide margin, but Chris has just defeated that. Just absolutely smooth and efficient all the way through. Use that sword to his advantage. Of course, I realized after the fact that it gives you a speed boost, and you probably will be the last competitor to ever run with the sword, but, you know, he took advantage of the situation, I guess. But in any event, regardless if he had the sword or not, he just looked so in control, and it looked like he was going to clear all the way through. Never a doubt for Chris. He is the first man into stage 2. Well, following this early success, Chris is the first competitor, or the earliest competitor to ever clear the first stage. So, and now we go on to Joey Davis. He was very frustrated by his fail on the rail climb in the last tournament. He said he had his controller kind of locked up on him during his run, and it was definitely an unfortunate break. But now he's the second person to get up on top of the slanted descent, and now eyeing down the lollipops, and he's through that. Now the warp ramp. He did struggle with this in the last tournament, and he misses his first go today. Oh, he fails it again. He must be having bad memories now as he's failed it a third time. Fourth time. His time is already against him. He takes him 5 attempts. He's going to have to rush the rest of the course if he wants to clear. He's now into the rail climb. He's making his way through pretty solid. Oh no! He overjumped the fifth one. Tried to almost save jump, but he kept his forward progress going and unfortunately was not able to keep it under control. And unfortunately, 2 times in a row there for Joey to go down on that obstacle. And we go now, though, to Daddy Cheese. Went down on the mountain cross in the last tournament. See how he does today. So far, so good through the first 2 obstacles. Now the slanted descent. I'm sure our competitors are thinking twice about that obstacle, seeing the 3 of the first 4 competitors go down there. But he's making his way through. He's through the lollipops, no problems whatsoever, and he's up the warp ramp. Now the rail climb, he's going very quickly here. Very clean, well done. 41 seconds remaining as he's now into the lamppost lane. And now for the obstacle that took him out in the last tournament. How's he going to do here? This is the jump he failed, I believe. But he gets it today, 26 seconds. He's got plenty of time. Are we going to get a second clear here? And, oh no! The slant jump. Really the last very difficult jump on the obstacle. And unfortunately, that is what has taken out Daddy Cheese here today. He was moving at just a fantastic pace and really had a clean run going, no mistakes. Was able to get that jump up onto the donut that he was not able to make in the last tournament. But then he just couldn't get this slant jump. As you can see, he just almost jumped a little early and just couldn't get the height and the distance to match to land that jump. Well, we now go to another man who knows what it's like to fail the mountain cross. He's failed it twice in a row. But it is Furisukoto, our friend Philip Scott. How's he gonna do today? I mean, you gotta hope that he will be third time lucky on that obstacle and be able to get through it. First things first, he's gotta get there. He's got 7 difficult obstacles before that. As Philip is making his way through the first 2 obstacles with no problems, he takes his time to set up for the slanted descent, which I think is definitely the right way to go about it if you're not 100% on it. Took a little bit of time there for the lollipops as well. Ooh, he almost ran off that second ball, but he's okay. But he will not get up the warp ramp on his first go. He's got 40 seconds left, but he will get up it in 2. Now he's eyeing down the rail climb. He's going very quickly on this. Oh no! For the first time ever, Philip will not get to the mountain cross, but you could tell he was going with a great sense of urgency on that obstacle. He was eyeing it here. And, oh wow, what a save jump on an intro. Well, we go from Philip to Petrillo. This man was in 5th place in the first tournament. 4 people cleared. He was the closest of anyone who not cleared. Though in the last tournament, he went down on a lollipop hop, very surprisingly. So how is he going to do today on his 3rd go? He gets up on top of the slant. He's moving very quickly. And now he's going to take on the obstacle that took him out last time, the lollipops. First one, second one, and he gets it. And what? He just jumped off the side of the warped ramp. Why did he do that? Petrillo! He had such a good run through the first 4 obstacles. And then he just... I don't know what I don't know if he's trying to get like a save jump, which you don't really need. I mean, he lands it. I don't know if he tried to jump into the wall or what happened, but he just completely went off the side of the obstacle. A very just unfortunate failure for Petrillo. We had high hopes for him today, and that's where he's going to have his run end at. I don't really know what to say. That's very surprising. But in any event, we go on to Soul Reaper, who, like Petrillo in Tournament 1, he was the closest of anyone who did not clear Stage 1 in the last tournament. He failed the same jump, the jump to the first railing. Soul eyeing that Stage 1 clear. He's going with a great sense of urgency so far. He's through the lollipops, and he will not Petrillo the warp ramp, and he gets up at N1 with plenty of time on the clock. He's just got to keep making his way through. Take your time. And he did that very smart. It's fast, but safe. And he's got 34 seconds left as he's onto the lampposts on his way to get revenge, hopefully, on the mountain cross. 27 seconds. He's onto the doorknob. He almost came off that, but he's okay. 22 seconds remaining. Going for the slant jump. Now this is the jump he failed last time, and he almost came up short again, but he's gonna make it. Yes! Soul Reaper will get revenge after failing the mountain cross so close to the finish line last tournament. He will be the second man moving on to stage 2 with just a very impressive run all the way through. He didn't go as fast as Chris did. He just knew what he had to do in these obstacles. Just took it one obstacle at a time and just really focused in on making it count. Just very, very clean across those railings. Never looked in danger of falling off. And then, of course, this mountain cross. You had to think, when he was on this obstacle, just the nerves might have got to him just with how close he was last time. He knew he wanted it bad. And as he almost came off the doorknob, the rest of the obstacle, he was able to handle the slant jump, which he saw Cheese go down on. He was able to make that again, but then this jump here, he failed it last time and he almost came off again, but he was able to just get it far enough. And then he was able to make the final dismount. Soul Reaper, with 12.36 seconds remaining, will join Chris in stage 2. Well, that takes us halfway through the runs, and we already have 2 men into stage 2. We'll see how many of the last 10 will join them as we go to our 11th calendar. This is Snoz. And there's quite an intro here. Okay, that was quite a collateral damage moment there. Anyways, Snoz, though, he once again is taking a higher number than what I originally gave him. He is taking Sonic Man's spot because he was not in this tournament. But we'll see how Snoz does here today. He went down on the mountain cross in tournament 1 and failed the rail climb last time. Unfortunately, failed the jump off the first one. He's through the slanted descent, no problem, and now he's going for the lollipops. How's he gonna handle this? First one, second one, and he's across. And he's up the warp ramp. He's had troubles on that obstacle before, but he gets up it in one today. This is the obstacle he went down on last time, though, and he's taking this much safer, much more cautious. He's safe jumping on these rails, and he's not gonna safe jump that one or that one. I guess he just didn't want to safe jump after I talked about him safe jumping, but he's through. And he's got 27 seconds. It's going to be a little close, but if he can keep moving, he's got a chance of clearing this. He's got 20 seconds now for the last obstacle, the mountain cross. He's on the tree, now going for the doorknob. No! I think he felt that exact jump in tournament 1 where he came up short, but now he's over-jumped the doorknob. Unfortunate. Good run, though, for Snoz as we go on to Bubba Ace37, a man who definitely knows what it's like to fail the mountain cross. He's done it in each of the last 2 tournaments. And now, how's he going to do today? So far, so good through the triangle run. No one's had really any issues on it, despite the triangles now moving. And through the broken pipes. And he's across the slanted descent. Now he's going for these lollipops. Like I said, the man who does the weird food videos will again conquer the food obstacle as he gets up the warp ramp in 1. He's got 44 seconds left as he's eyeing the rail climb. He gets a crazy jump onto the second one. He had great confidence not to crouch or anything, and then he's going to side jump up the rest of them, and he will get up it with 32 seconds remaining. And now, Bubba. He's just the lamppost lane away from a 3rd go at the mountain cross, and here it is. He's got the time if he can keep moving efficiently. And he's now going for the doorknob into the donut. That is where he went down in the last tournament. But he gets past it. He gets the slant. Bubba is in with a chance. Going for the last jump, and he does it. Okay, he almost struck out. He missed 2 slings at the buzzer. I don't know why people keep doing that. But Bubba Ace37 Not only his first clear on this course, it's his first clear on any Halo Ninja Warrior course. What a phenomenal run. From a man who's never cleared any course before, he looked like a seasoned vet. I mean, just very impressive all the way through. Looked a little scary on that first jump on the rail climb, but then he was able to just settle in and do his technique, the side jump approach on these railings. He moved through it very quickly too. And that's the thing, while Bubba definitely has the slowest time so far, he was able to move at a pace he was comfortable with. Didn't have to really rush anything, but he kept moving quickly and efficiently. And then this slant jump, he failed this in Tournament 1. He almost slides off the back again today, but he was able to correctly adjust and make these last couple jumps. It's been a long time coming here for Bubba, but for the first time ever, we're going to see Bubba Ace 37 take on a second stage on a Halo jumping course. Congratulations to Bubba Ace. Well, following that, we now have the 8 men who have cleared Stage 1 in the past, and we will begin with Swantron97, who got second place in the first tournament, unfortunately going down on the rail climb in the last tournament, though. So how's he going to do today? Seen 3 people clear before him. All 8 of these people who cleared in the past have seen 3 clear before him, so they know clears are out there. We'll see how many of them are able to get it done, though, as Swan is through the lollipops, and he's up the warp ramp. Now for the obstacle he failed in the last tournament. He gets the jump on. That's what he failed last time, and now he's making his way up, taking his time. He's got the time if he needs it, and he's taking it. And Swan will get revenge in the rail climb. He's got 32 seconds remaining, but he did not attempt this version of the mountain cross in the last tournament. How's he going to handle it? 24 seconds left because he's going for the tree, right for the doorknob. Ooh, safe jump. Okay, he's good. He's safe jumping a lot, and now the time is ticking down just a little bit, but he should have enough to clear. Oh, he's onto a slant jump, and he overjumps! He had no troubles in that jump in Tournament 1, but it gets its revenge today. Swantron. He was not going at the fastest pace, but he was going at a pace where he had the time to clear. Got several save jumps on that doorknob to make sure he did not slip off that. But then he got to the last little bit of this obstacle, and this slant jump. It took out Cheese earlier. Bubba almost failed it. And he just made the usual mistake of over jumping it. And that is the end for Swantron. Well, now we go to the other man who cleared in Tournament 1 and failed in Tournament 2 on this first stage. This is DHG Fireball. In the first tournament, he had some mishaps with the ball glider and then went down on the minefield. Last tournament, an unfortunate failure on the mountain cross. Missed the jump to the tree. So now he is hungry for revenge and a return trip to the second stage, as he's making his way across the broken pipes with no difficulties. Good jump onto the slanted descent and moved very quickly into that as well. And, ooh, yep, through the lollipops, no issues, and he's up the warp ramp, and now going for the rail climb with incredible pace. He's got 43 seconds left. He might be eyeing that fastest time that his good friend Chris set a little while ago. And he's now on the jump that he failed last time, but he gets it with no issues. He's got the time if he needs it, but I don't think he's going to take it as he gets up on the slant jump. Oh my. Fireball does get the fastest time by like 0.6 seconds from his good pal Chris. An incredible run, 23.8 seconds left. It looked a little sketchy, but he was able to get through it on the slanted descent. Beautifully up the warp ramp in one, then just as good as you could ever hope to do the rail climb. Just 2 jumps and off. I mean, it's a tough technique to do, but if you can do it, it just saves so much time on this stage. And then from there, he was on to the mountain cross. He was able to get revenge from last tournament on that tree, and he had no issues the rest of the way. DHG Fireball with the fastest time will be the 4th competitor into the 2nd stage. And now 6 competitors remain, and 6 competitors beat Stage 1 in the last tournament, which should show you that these are the 6 that beat Stage 1 in the last tournament. And we begin with Atlantic Champ, who, after failing the mountain cross in the first tournament, he made it all the way to the ball glider, but was one of 5 to go down there. Of course, he infamously shot the ball and came off on the first track. So, how's he going to do today? It's moving at a fast pace so far, and he gets up on top of the slanted descent, and now going for the lollipops. Comes through that. Surprisingly, no one failed the lollipops so far, despite them being a very difficult obstacle in the first couple tournaments, well, especially last time. But in the event, Atlantic did not need to spring jump the warp ramp today, and he got through the rail climb with no issues. And wow, he took an early turn onto the lamppost, and now he's onto the mountain cross with 30 seconds left, and he's moving at a very quick pace. He's not going to get that fastest time, but this is still an impressive run as he gets the slant beautifully. Atlantic is going to also clear the first stage. 19.29 seconds remaining. What a very impressive run, and we are going to see him back in the 2nd stage. Well, we move on to Flamosaurus, who after a surprisingly disappointing run in Tournament 1 where he failed the rail climb, finished in 18th place out of 20. He was able to get back, and he was able to get to the 2nd stage and went down on the ball glider last time. He actually made the transition and then fell off the ball as it was beginning to roll down the 2nd track. So, we'll see how he does today as he's smoothly through the first 3 obstacles. And through the lollipops, another one onto the warp ramp, and he will not get up at 1. If you recall, in Tournament 1, he took, I believe, 4 attempts on this obstacle, and that's how he failed the first stage, because he then tried to rush the rail climb, but he gets through that on his 3rd go, and quickly through the rail climb. You'd never guess he would have failed that obstacle in Tournament 1 with how he did that, but now he's got 28 seconds left, and now he will tackle the mountain cross. Always a difficult obstacle. Oh, a little wobbly on the doorknob, but he gets through. He's got 18 seconds remaining. Now for the slant, and he gets a beautiful crouch on it to stick and slow his momentum down. Flame is going to go 3 clears in a row for us. Amazing work from Flame. 16 seconds left, and that's 3 attempts on the warp ramp. These competitors are just annihilating this first stage. We have 6 clears now. Flame just really an impressive run other than that warp ramp, that he was able to get up it on the 3rd go. He was able to keep himself composed and just sped through the rail climb immediately after, which saved a huge chunk of time. And then he was able to tackle the mountain cross once again. A little scary on that doorknob, as you can see, his feet were moving a little bit, and wasn't sure if he was indecisive there or whatever, but he was able to make it work and then get through these final few jumps. Flame is the 6th competitor to make it to the 2nd stage, and he will give us a 3 competitor clear streak. Well done by Flame. But now we go to the man who set the Stage 1 clear time record in the last tournament, Smoky Massacre. And he not messing around with this intro, and he is off. If you recall, though, he cleared with 22.8 seconds left on his new controller. Now, how will he do on his not-so-new controller today, as he's smoothly through the broken pipes? And no! Smoky Massacre has gone down on the 3rd obstacle, the slanted descent. We saw 3 of the first 4 competitors go down there, but a heavyweight in Smoky Massacre just didn't get the height he needed. He might have jumped just a little late, and he could not get up on top. And Smokey Massacre out before his theme could even get going. His run theme, I mean, he heard like 10 seconds of it. Wow. Well, how is Stray Felix going to respond to that? He did basically get second place in the last tournament in that he almost beat the ball glider, came off at the very end of the second track. So now what is Strafe going to do here? You just saw Smokey fail this obstacle though, and he will avenge Smokey and move on to the lollipops. Thinking the slanted descent must be taking out several of our challengers who maybe would struggle with the lollipops, as again no one has failed that with two competitors to go after Stray Felix, as he's smoothly through the rail climb with 36 seconds left on the clock, and now he will tackle the lampposts. He's taking his time here. Usually people don't take their time, but you know, he's got time in hand to do that. And now he's on to the doorknob. He gets a safe jump, and now time is ticking down a little bit. He has the time in hand to clear this stage though. Now though, the slant jump. And no! He's the third competitor today to fail that jump. We saw Cheese and Swan fail that exact jump earlier today, and just like in Tournament 1, that slant jump is starting to wreak havoc on our competitors. I don't know what happened. Strafe just didn't get the jump he needed. I don't think he was high enough, and then he just jumped too far out and just almost hung on. But he came off the back, and that's it for Strafe. Man who finished in second place in the last tournament. But from one Brit to another, actually taking a long intro so we can play more of his theme, more than about 5 seconds. 100 units 751. He's doing this weird golf club intro that he said, I want to try this. And then he tried it. Alright, now he's doing his normal intro that we all know and love. The 100 unit in the first tournament was the only man to make it to stage 3, but in the last tournament went down shockingly on the ball glider. Can he go 3 for 3 on stage 1 and get a return trip to the ball glider? I guess we'll find out in the next 71 seconds as he's through the triangles with no issues. Now for the broken pipes, which is Racing Buddy, shift failed, but he will get through that, as well as the slanted descent, which 4 people failed earlier. Now Hunter eyeing down these lollipops. Oh, he almost came up short, but he's able to get a good crouch and nail it. And now he's got 47 seconds. Oh, the camera guy got caught up a little bit, but he's making his way through. Hunter never really, has cleared with that much time. If you recall the first tournament, he cleared the stage with just 0.6 seconds left. He had like 5 seconds left in the last tournament. But he's got 28 seconds left for this last obstacle, which should be enough. If he needs to take his time on some stuff, he's going to go quickly off the doorknob onto the donut. He's got 17 seconds to that. Now the slant jump, and he nails it beautifully. Taking his time here for these last few jumps, and Hunter Unit is going to make it. He's going to sword the button. 8.24 seconds left. Hunter Unit will go 3 for 3 on the first stage. Only the man to follow him can join him with that record. Hunter just put up a very solid run, station to station. Didn't really have any issues. I mean, he just, made his way through every obstacle. Looked a little high maybe on that second step. I think that's why we showed the replay of that. But in any event, Hunter just moved smoothly through, and after seeing a couple of heavyweights go down by the wayside in Smokey and Strafe right before him, he did not let the pressure get to him, and just made his way smoothly through that slant jump. Took his time on these last couple of jumps, like a seasoned pro, like he is. Hunter Unit is the 7th man into stage 2, and he has set us a new stage 1 clear record. Well, now only one man remains. And doing his, as he calls it, quote, janky Sentinel Beam intro. This is Weapon Matt, who made it to the third stage. The only man to beat the ball glider in the last tournament. And while he did go down on the jumping rings, it's still the best result to this point on this course. A run very worthy of the number 20 position. How is Weapon Matt gonna do today? Can he join Hunter in the 3-for-3 club on stage 1? And he will immediately get through the triangle run, confirming no one will fail that obstacle again. So I'm good at making first obstacles, you know. But he's through the broken pipes and on top of the slanted descent. Through that. Now for these lollipops, no one has failed it yet today. Weapon Matt will not be the first, and he gets up the warp ramp very smoothly. He's got plenty of time in hand as he's very nicely across the rail climb. He's got a lot of time remaining, 35 seconds now, and now he's onto the mountain cross. He's 2 for 2 on this obstacle, obviously, and ooh, he gets a safe jump, a second one. Okay, that was a little scary, but he will get up on top of the donut. Now for the slant jump, and he gets that beautifully. Weapon Matt taking his time here at the very end. Oh, he gets a safe jump. He almost jumped on top of the structure. That would have been a disqualification, but thankfully he did not land on top. A little scarier than we anticipated there at the very end. But Weapon Matt will once again clear the first stage, and we have 8 challengers moving on to stage 2. The second stage is unchanged from the last tournament, but that obviously doesn't make it any easier, as 5 of the 6 challengers that reached this stage in the last tournament could not complete it. It all begins with the L bridge. Just drive the mongoose down the track, and then you're onto the wall climb. Just climb these jumps that get higher and higher. They become perfect crouches at the very end. Get up on top, and then you will tackle the menace of this stage, the ball glider. First track, 10 degrees. You then have to make this huge transfer to the second ball at a 15-degree angle track, and then make the dismount to complete that obstacle, where you'll then tackle the pole jump. Just make the quick jump onto the antenna, and then a huge dismount to make it onto the platform, where you'll then tackle the landslide. 2 quick head slides. You slide down the first one, jump off the platform to the second head slide, and then make the dismount. And it's the minefield, which was made harder in the last tournament, and while Weapon Matt was able to defeat it, it is still a very difficult obstacle. What was a test of speed in Tournament 1 is now a test of precision, and you still have to move fast on it, honestly. And then you'll tackle the last obstacle, the supermarket, make your way around the 8 aisles. We took an alt camera angle because no one ever sees that side, and it's lonely. But 2 minutes on the clock, just like last tournament.
Man, stage 1, I full sended, bro, just for my boy, all my boys, all the boys in the world. I full sended. But stage 2, man, I gotta take my time because, you know, the wall out here, I'm Mexican, but I'm not really Mexican. And those walls, man, they're scary, you know. I can't get over it. I'm gonna do my best for the boys, alright?
I'm still letting it sink in. That's my first time finally clearing a first stage on a jumping course. Obviously, it's my first time heading the second stage, and given my history of doing these courses, I'm not really expected to do well here, but I'm just happy I finally got to this point. And the goal at this point is just to, give it my best shot, see how far I go, and hopefully I'll have something to look forward to for the future.
Oh, my stage 1 went smooth. Didn't have any issues on any of the obstacles. Time limit wasn't an issue. Feels great to be back in stage 2. A little worried about that ball obstacle over there. Just gotta slow it down enough to keep control. After that, the landmines, it's just, you gotta be consistent through it. But I think I can do it if I get there, but shit happens.
I felt pretty good going into stage 1. I went pretty fast, but I could have gone faster. Going into stage 2, I really do know the inevitable. So I'm ready for it. Everybody else at home knows the inevitable. I know the inevitable. We all know the inevitable. I'm gonna fail. Let's do this.
I feel good. Like, I'm happy that I beat stage 1, but stage 2 I am very, very worried about. Especially the balls and the landmine.
I'm feeling pretty good about making it back to stage 2 again, 3 in a row. I think last tournament showed just how tough this stage 2 is, not just with the way I failed, but with how everybody failed on the ball. If I can get past it, I've got a good shot, but I could definitely fail the ball again. I will just have to see how the run goes and see if I can get back to the 3rd stage.
Well, it's the exact same stage 2 I cleared in the last tournament, but I'm not going to take the ball obstacle or the 3rd or the 4th obstacle for granted, because I know they can still take me on. I feel like if I get past that pole jump, I can clear the stage again and hopefully do better on stage 3.
Tell you what, I forgot how quickly I edited it to jump into those interviews, so sorry for sounding dumb there. But anyways, we have 8 challengers to take on the 2nd stage, the first one being Siren, setting the 2nd fastest time in stage 1, just getting pipped by his friend Fireball. We'll see how he does. Here on stage 2 with Weapon Matt in the back of the Goose, he is off for 2 minutes. He's going to swan it. Oh, and he gets it! The huge skip doesn't really save that much time, but, you know, it looks cool, and as long as you get the mongoose to the platform, it is allowed, but he comes off! Oh no, Chris! He's the first challenger in the show's history to go down on the wall climb. He just, I think, was going a little too fast, took the front of it, and was not able to save it, as Soul will now tackle the 2nd stage with Chris in the back of it. I think it's Chris. It's gotta be Chris. Anyways, as Chris will now drive the mongoose back up the track, Soul will now try to avenge him on the wall climb. We'll see what he does here. Oh, he's gonna jump and... Oh, he tried to spring jump, but he couldn't get a spring! And Soul Reaper is already down on the wall climb. An obstacle that our challengers have not had trouble with in the past, suddenly taking out the first 2 competitors. And now we go to a man very excited for this run though, Bubba Ace 37. His first ever time making it to stage 2 on a Halo jumping competition. How is he going to do here today? He's okay. Yeah, it took his time a little bit going down, then quickly across the 2nd part of the L bridge. And now, can he be the first to figure out the wall climb? Like I always have been saying, this obstacle is very difficult, and was very surprised no one failed it in the first 2 tournaments, and now it's proving its worth today. But Bubba is making these perfect crouches. He's figuring out his technique that he wants to use, and he almost came off the last one, taking his time for that last jump, and he gets up. And now he will tackle the menace of this stage, the ball glider. Can he figure it out? This would be unbelievable if he can get this on his first time on a stage 2. Oh, he had it in great position, but he unfortunately backed off, or he just didn't have the time to jump forward on it. But still, Bubba Ace, currently in first place on stage 2, and just an impressive run, all things considered. Well done, Bubba. But now we go to DHG Fireball. Once again with Weapon Matt here for the intro. Okay, he's gonna have Weapon Matt and the Goose again. It didn't work too well for Chris. Maybe it'll work for Fireball. But how will Fireball do here? The last 5 challengers have all attempted this stage in the past, but Fireball did not attempt this stage in the last tournament. He went down on the minefield in Tournament 1, but he struggled with the ball glider, and now it's even harder. But hopefully he can tackle this stage with all the changes and get through as he's smoothly up the wall climb doing those spring jumps. Now, this obstacle he struggled with, he got the ball stuck in this first slot, but he gets across that today. Now he's just got to keep the ball under control. Come on, Fireball. It rolls off and he jumps, and he gets it beautifully. Now the second track, it's steeper, it's at a very steep angle, so it's hard to keep it under control the way you want. But he is going to get through it with 68 seconds remaining. He's onto the pole jump, and he's through that. He beat that in Tournament 1, but this obstacle's been made harder since the last time he tried it. The landslide, no issues, and now plenty of time here for revenge. The minefield. You will be able to take his time and just make these jumps. He's almost frog jumping it. I like this technique as long as you can keep it under control and keep your speed up. And he's going quickly, yet taking these jumps very precisely. And he is almost at the end. He's got one jump left to go, and he gets it. He's got plenty of time here for the supermarket. Unless he makes a critical error and falls off, he is going to make it to the third stage. Going for the fourth one. Now they get narrower from here, but he's got the time to be able to slow down and just make these turnarounds. He's got plenty of time in hand. And DHG Fireball, 10.19 seconds left on the clock. He has done it. He's the first man to defeat this stage. He's the first to defeat the ball glider, and the rest of it all just panned out from there. As you can see with Weapon Matt, I guess he wasn't the bad luck charm for Chris. He was on the back of the goose there as he moved very quickly through that. And then the ball glider, the killer of the last tournament, he handled it with no issues whatsoever. Just took his time, understood what he was doing, made this big transfer to the second ball, and then from there just kept his composure on this steeper track. It's so easy to come off here. It's the same degree, 15 degree, as the rolling jump from Rog's Spartan Sasuke 15, which obviously is very tough to roll, and a lot of people failed that. But then he was able to get revenge on these mines, moving with a great technique on doing these frog jumps, and DHG Fireball will be the first competitor to tackle the third stage later on. But before that, we have 4 competitors who want to join him, and we will begin with Atlantic Champ. Now, he failed the ball glider last time, but all of these last 4 competitors were in this stage in the last tournament. 3 of them failed the ball glider, and of course Weapon Matt, who made it to stage 3. But how will Atlantic do as he's quickly through? Okay, he was quickly through the L bridge, and then he almost jumped too far out of the goose and fell off the landing platform. That would have been not good. But now Atlantic is making his way up the wall. He's got only a few jumps left to go. And for the last big jump. No! Okay, he saves it, but that will cost him some time. I think he did that exact mistake in the last tournament, where he missed the last jump and fell down 4 rungs. He will get up to the top, and now we'll have 78 seconds to at least beat the ball glider, but as you heard, he was not confident about this obstacle at all. He's gonna wrangle. Okay, delayed wrangle, but he gets the front of it. Okay, come on, he's erratic, but he's through. Yeah, it was very sketchy, but he's going for the pole jump, and he comes up short. Atlantic Champ. All you trivia fans out there will now know that he's the first competitor to ever fail the pole jump on this course. But, yeah, he just, after that wall climb save, he kept his composure and then was able to get here to the ball glider, which he failed. He was able to not shoot the ball, which is kind of important. But then, even though he hit the very front of that ball and had it moving very fast, was able to make it through. And on this pole jump, I think he just jumped a little early. You kind of want to get to that blue line before you jump. He didn't. He came up short, and he is out. So now we go to Flamosaurus. As, I don't know if that was Fireball or not. I might have been trying to do a rocket jump onto the wall climb. Interesting intro, I guess. But in any event, Flame having failed the ball glider in the last tournament, making the transfer, and then coming off the front of the ball for the second track. How is he going to be able to handle this stage? The first two obstacles unchanged, so he should have a good handle on these. And now he will begin spring jumping, it would appear. Ooh, that was a little scary. He almost didn't get the distance outward for that, but then he will handle the rest of these jumps with no issues, and he has plenty of time in hand for revenge. Like we heard, he is worried about this obstacle. This and the minefield. He's taking this very slowly. He wants to be absolutely in control. And he will go for the big jump, and he gets it. He's going methodically, but he's making it work. And now on this second track, Wrangle, oh, he barely clips the ball, but he gets through. And now he's got 56 seconds. He's a little behind Fireball, so he's got to keep his pace up here. He's got 50 seconds now. It's actually a little low, considering how difficult this minefield is, and he's about to attempt it. He was worried about this. 40 seconds on the clock. He's got to keep moving. You need at least probably 25 seconds to feel comfortable for the supermarket. And he's about to hit that here, and he's got quite a few jumps remaining. And he's not skipping. Oh no, this is going to be really tight. He's going to have to move at a very aggressive pace to clear. He's got 17 seconds. He's now, oh, he stumbles there a little. And now he's just going to have to send it the rest of the way, going for the fifth wall. And he falls off the side. Flame. Well, he's the first person to actually fall off the supermarket. I don't blame him for failing whatsoever. It's a tough obstacle to do under that immense time pressure. He probably would not have made it anyway. Ah, what a bummer for Flame. He just went a little too slow, I guess, in the ball glider and the minefield, and that is what did him in. So now we have Hunter Unit 751 doing this spinny rocket intro. Also, I didn't give him his usual run name, so sorry, Hunter. Changing it up, I don't know. Don't like changing the music when I don't do replays, so just ignore it. I don't know. That was me, explaining too far. Anyways, Hunter, after another long intro, after him usually being pretty quick with his intros in the first two tournaments, he's now the intro guy, I guess. But yeah, he's making his way down Yell Bridge. He almost also jumped too far off. I don't know why our competitors are doing that, but I guess they're just going so quick on that obstacle, they're maybe not even thinking about it. But now Hunter, oh, he almost came off the wall climb. He saw his fellow United Kingdomsman Soul failed this obstacle earlier, and he almost joined him. He is almost at the top. And yes. And now he will try to get revenge here on the ball glider. I've seen 3 challengers beat this obstacle so far. He's going to wrangle. He gets it much cleaner than he did in the last tournament. He's already done better, but he wants to beat this obstacle. He's going quickly down. And he will get through. And he will have more time in hand than Flame did, but still not a ton. He's got to keep moving. As he goes to the pole jump, he gets the jump on, but not the dismount. Hunter Unit has only done one obstacle better than last time. He's gone down on the pole jump. He's joined Atlantic. Unbelievable. I mean, wow, we're going to get a replay here, I think. Yep. Gosh, I tell you what, Atlantic missed the jump on, but he missed the jump off. It's a difficult jump. But as we see here, he did this ball glider so much better than he did in the last tournament. Just was able to nail that transfer. It's always scary looking when Hunter does the second track, but he was able to wrangle, land on the very edge of it. Then the pole jump, which he had no troubles with in Tournament 1. It's exactly the same as it was in Tournament 1. He gets the jump on, and I just don't think he got the full sprint off of it that he wanted. And Hunter Unit has been defeated again on Stage 2. As we now only have one competitor remaining. And we still only have one clear. So either Weapon Matt will join DHG Fireball in Stage 3, or Fireball will be alone in the third stage. But Weapon Matt beat this exact stage in the previous tournament. So he should be capable of beating this stage once again. He knows what he's got to do. As he's now climbing the wall, he's now going to spring jump. Oh, okay, he did one spring jump, and then he perfect crouched, and then he spring jumped. Okay, that's a weird technique, but he gets up to the top, and now we'll get onto the ball. And he's got plenty of time in hand. I think he's at the fastest pace so far of anyone. Now, he did fail this in Tournament 1, we will remind you, but it was an easier version. He beat the harder version last time. He'll get that transfer again. Come on, Weapon Matt. Going down the second track, he's going to get the big jump up and the jump out for the wrangle technique to beat it. But now the pole jump is taking out a couple of challengers, but not Weapon Matt. And he will now move into the landslide. Oh, he got knocked down there really hard. He got knocked down on both head slides, but he's okay. And now he's got time in hand for the minefield. Even though he beat this in the last tournament, it doesn't make it any easier. It's still very stressful to make your way through. The clock ticking down, and knowing how close the third stage is. Whoa! Okay, I think it was lag. He landed like squarely on the mine, but I think it was lag, and it was just on my screen. So, definitely a little scary there, but nonetheless, he's got time in hand to make it through the supermarket. Just doesn't want to make a mistake here. Still take your time so you don't fall off the edge. This is the edge where Flame fell off. You will not. 15 seconds on the clock. He's not gone as fast as he did last tournament, but it doesn't matter. A clear is a clear. Weapon Matt will once again make it to the third stage. 2 tournaments in a row. For the first time ever, we're going to have more than one person actually in stage 3. Go us. And anyways, 6.85 seconds left. Weapon Matt knew what he had to do, and he just executed beautifully. Got onto the ball glider, knowing the task at hand, knowing he was the only one to beat this in the last tournament, and what a great follow-up. He was able to just keep the thing moving at a pace that he could control, get that beautiful transfer. And then on the second track, he kept it rolling under control, then went for the Wrangler, but had no issues with that. And from there, he then had to tackle the pole jump, which you just saw Hunter fail. He saw Atlantic fail it earlier, but he was able to get through. And Weapon Matt has joined Fireball in the third stage. Let's see what they have to face now. Alrighty, folks, here we go. The third stage. It is again unchanged from the last 2 tournaments, and it is still a very difficult road to the final. And it all begins with these flag types, these 4 soccer balls. You kind of got to use the poles to gain the run up in order to get onto the platform, and then tackle the octopus tentacles. The first 4 are at a 30-degree angle. The second 4 are at a 45-degree angle. You either can jump off the sides of them or make the jumps down them to kind of land on them, and then make the big dismount off the last one before tackling the precision pyramid. 7 antennas. It's all about just keeping yourself under control and not trying to rush the situation, because as you can see, the cliffhanger sits so close to it, and you make that jump, you know what's ahead of you, this difficult cliffhanger. First jump way out, then a big jump up, crazy jump, a vertical limit window, although it's like not that hard really, but then the second crazy jump, the big angle jump, the jump downward, which we saw Hunter fail in the last tournament, one more jump out, and then the final crazy jump before getting on to the jumping rings. It's just got to keep yourself crouched and make your way through into the tube, which Weapon Matt could not do in the last tournament, to then tackle the wobble roll. The golf ball is so hard to roll, and we'll see how composed our competitors can be on such a difficult obstacle at that point in the stage. From there, you roll the tightrope of terror down to the end of the track, make the big dismount, and you will then climb for total victory. Well, let's see what our 2 challengers have to say about stage 3.
Well, beating stage 2, getting past the mines felt great. It's always nice getting to stage 3. Now that I'm here, I feel pretty confident. The second obstacle might give me a little issues, but if I think I can pass the second obstacle, I think I can get pretty far into the stage. But see what happens, like always.
Feeling okay, probably about the same as I was last tournament. I feel like I know I can beat this stage, just doesn't matter if I can beat the jumping rings and this right here that I'm standing on. But I want to put up a good effort.
Well, let's get right down to business. 2 challengers remain out of 20. First thing to take on this stage will be DHG Fireball. He is getting rooted on here by Weapon Man. And he will attempt stage 3 right after him. But now DHG Fireball will have his first go on this 3rd stage. But even though this is an untimed stage, he is a man who likes to go fast, as we just saw there on the stalactites, moving very quickly. And now the octopus tentacles through the first set, really solid. He is going through this like it's a timed stage, how fast he's going. I mean, he is moving at a rapid pace. So he gets a save jump on top of that, but no difficulties there, and he's going to go for this jumpy thing that Weapon Matt showed him, and he gets a huge dismount to complete the obstacle, and I can't even keep up with him. He's on the precision pyramid. He's going so fast. He skips an antenna. He skipped the 5th one, and he then used the 6th and 7th one to complete the obstacle. And blinking, you'll miss it. Fireball's on the 2nd ledge of the cliffhanger. This is an incredible pace he's going at, but you know it's a pace he's comfortable at as he makes the first crazy jump. Come on, Fireball. He's now onto the window. Has no issues with that. And now we'll make the 2nd crazy jump. He'll make that as well. Now though, this section I think is the most difficult part of the obstacle. This jump here is very challenging. The downward jump, beautiful save jump. He gets a 2nd one just for good measure, just to make sure he makes it, and he did just that. He will get the last outward jump. He's on the 10th ledge. One bigger crazy jump, and he gets it. Fireball has defeated the cliffhanger on his first attempt on this stage. And now, the jumping rings. Makes his way into the 4th one. He goes for the jump. Matt failed in the last tournament, but he gets it. And he's the first competitor to ever attempt the wobble roll. Weapon Matt is there on the platform there. He's coaching him. This obstacle is unbelievably difficult. It is unlike anything we've really seen on a stage 3 on a Halo jumping course. It is all about just keeping the ball under control. It's not a difficult obstacle in the grand scheme, but when you make it the second to last obstacle on a 3rd stage, and you know how close the final stage is, it is horrendously difficult under the pressure. As we just saw Joey Davis also come through the teleporter there onto the platform. But Fireball is making this work. You just got it. He's keeping crouch. He wasn't really crouch, and now he's using this crouch technique, which is probably the easiest way to do it so you don't slip off as easy. He's getting closer and closer, inch by inch, to the last obstacle and the potential of making the final stage. Oh, he looked at the dismount there. That's why he stood up, I think. But then he's realizing he wants to play this as safe as he possibly can. Okay, oop. I thought he was going to jump again, but he's going to roll it just a little farther. The farther you get, the safer that jump is to that piston. And he gets through the wobble roll. Fireball has one obstacle remaining. It's the tightrope of terror. Just roll the soccer ball down a very similar track, although there are no stoppers. So if you are a little off with your placement, you can roll off to the side. And then the big dismount. Fireball can smell the final stage. He's so close. But can he get this final dismount? He's rolling so methodically and smoothly. Is Fireball on the verge of glory? He's approaching the end of the track. He goes for it, and he does it! DHG Fireball has done the unthinkable! And on his first attempt on the third stage, he will be the first ever challenger to attempt the final stage. Just an unbelievable run for DHG Fireball as Joey Davis has joined him on the finishing platform. Just absolutely perfect. Oh, Weapon Matt just failed the dismount there to join him. Hopefully he doesn't do that on his actual run. But Fireball, oh my goodness. I mean, he just moved so quickly. But you know, it's the pace that works with him. He's done this when he's done well in third stages in the past. He just moves so fast through the stage, but he just feels comfortable doing that. And, you know, more power to him for doing that as he was able to get that safe jump on the octopus tentacles. He skipped an antenna on the precision pyramid. That is confidence for you. And then this big downward jump. Hunter unit failed it in tournament 1. Just a beautiful save jump. Gets a second one just to make sure. And then on the jumping rings, he obviously saw Weapon Matt fail this in the last tournament, but he did not let that affect him. He was able to get this last jump into the 2. And then the wobble roll. Weapon Matt was there coaching him. Joey Davis was there rooting him on. But DHG Fireball kept it under control and was able to then, after several looks at dismounting, finally dismounted to defeat that obstacle. And then the tightrope of terror was all that remained. But he looked like an absolute pro, like he had done that 100,000 times. DHG Fireball has done what many people did not expect to see in only the 3rd tournament of this course. He will attempt the final stage in just a few minutes. Well, I tell you what, I cannot believe what I just saw. But we'll see if that run can give Weapon Matt the motivation he needs. As if he didn't have enough motivation already to better his run in the last tournament. Can Weapon Matt join Fireball in the final? Of course, this is the exact same 3rd stage as he attempted in the last tournament. She's through the stalactites with no issues. Now for the octopus tentacles. First set is not a problem whatsoever for Weapon Matt, and now he's going up for the 2nd set. And he will get through that as well, and now going for the big jump down that he likes to do, and he gets that. Come on, Weapon Matt. The number 20 runner. He will now try to keep himself under control here on the precision pyramid. He's safe jumping each of these each of these antennas, which is the way to do it. I cannot say antennas today. Please excuse the silly commentator. Oh, okay, there was more lag. It looked like he was about to also skip the 5th pole. But he is taking his time. Oh, and he did the 360 after I made fun of him last time for not getting it. He was able to complete that. And is definitely style points. But we'll see if the Cliffhanger EX cares about style points as he makes the first transfer. And now we'll go for the 2nd transfer onto the 3rd ledge. Eyeing down the first crazy jump. Weapon Matt so methodical when he does this obstacle. It's the stark contrast to DHG Fireball a minute ago. DHG Fireball loves to go fast. Weapon Matt, when he has the opportunity, loves to take his time and line stuff up. Because he knows how big this run is. He wants to get to the final stage. He knows he's capable of it as he gets the 2nd crazy jump. And now we'll go for the big jump up. He almost slipped off the side, but he gets it going down as good as you could ever hope to do that jump. And now 2 jumps remain. The big jump there onto the 10th ledge, and now the final crazy jump. And he will get that with no difficulties. And Weapon Matt, 2 tournaments in a row, will beat the Cliffhanger. It's time for the rematch. Weapon Matt versus the Jumping Rings. He knows what's on the line here. He knows how close he is to the final. He's gonna take his time here, and I don't blame him. There's no time for a reason. These obstacles are just so difficult. And then the pressure just mounts as you get deeper into the stage as he begins the jumping rings. He's going quickly again. And I think, yes, he's gonna stop before this jump. He failed this in the last tournament. And no, he fails it again! It was a much better jump, but he hits his head on the top of the tube, and he's unable to land it. Unbelievable. 2 tournaments in a row. Weapon Math is undone on this very difficult obstacle. The jumping rings. Made it through all the rings. And then this jump. He failed it obviously last time. He knew that it was difficult, so he took his time before it, and it looked like a great jump, and he just almost banged his head into the top of it. If he was just a little lower, I think he would have beat this obstacle. But it will be just DHG Fireball moving on to the final. Well, it's time, folks. After 3 tournaments, I can now show you all the final stage. Unlike any final stage that has come before it, it is a test of keeping yourself under control. While most final stages are a test of speed, the cylinder climb is an absolute test of precision, as you must climb these poles. They start in the green zone, being they're 10 feet out and 5 feet up, and then you must make these turns. And once you get onto the red pole, you're into the red section, which the jumps are twice as high, but half as far out. 10 feet up, 5 feet forward. But even though it seems like a test of precision, the time limit is still difficult. 60 seconds and 1 chance at glory. Let's hear from the man himself about to attempt this stage.
That stage 3 run felt amazing. The last obstacle had me worried. Those 2 balls. I was just sitting there praying I was gonna fall off, but we kept it under control. Now we're here. Just looking at it, the bunch of precision jumps. I think speed-wise, I'm fast enough. It's just I gotta stay consistent and get all the jumps right. But if I can get past the green section, I think it's the color. The green section, I think I'm good. We'll find out like always.
What a moment for DHG Fireball. 20 began this tournament, and he's the last man standing. And now, the Grand Champion of Halo Ninja Warrior could add a Grand Champion of Irish Warrior to his resume. He's got the crowd here watching. He's got Weapon Matt, he's got Joey Davis, and I believe he also has Petrollo fam showed up for this run as well. But this is it. 1 chance at glory. 60 seconds on the clock for DHG Fireball to achieve the unthinkable. He is off. He is skipping poles, which is probably the best way to do this if you want to achieve total victory with speed. He's moving very solid so far. And no, what happened? It's all over, just like that. DHG Fireball has failed the final stage. I can't believe it. He felt pretty confident about this stage, but it doesn't matter when you are under the pressure of just the 1 run and the 1 chance at glory. DHG Fireball, unlucky. He could not make it up, and we're going to see what went wrong right here. He was moving at such a fantastic pace. He had plenty of time to clear the stage. But it's so tough to make all these jumps in a row without messing up. And that's what's so difficult about this final stage. It seems simple enough, but it's so difficult to execute under the pressure. Fireball is moving at a great pace, but this is the jump he failed, and it looked like he just barely overjumped it, barely uncrouched when he was sliding off the back of it. And that is an unfortunate way for Fireball to go down. Let's hear from him right now and hear what he thinks about that run.
Bro, the nerves got to me. Yeah, the precision jumps couldn't pull through, but I mean, it always feels great to get to the final. It sucks failing it, but I do feel confident that I can get back here in the future. Hopefully, with this cook right here, he'll probably be joining me on the final stage sometime soon. But great tournament. I'm looking forward to the next tournament.
Well, what an incredible tournament. As we saw record after record be broken, we saw the Stage 1 and the Stage 2 clear record be broken, but then DHG Fireball, the new star of the tournament, being the only man to make it to the final stage, the first competitor ever to do so. And really, all throughout his first 3 stages, he just looked in complete control. This man, you could tell he just put the practice in he needed to get revenge after failing the mountain cross in the last tournament, and then beat the second stage, which he could not do in the first tournament. Make it to the third stage for his first time, and then defeat that pretty much sight unseen. I mean, he really did not practice the third stage that much before he did his run. He then did his run, and he just executed so fantastically. Just an incredible tournament all around from all of our challengers. So we saw 20 show up today with the renewed hope of achieving total victory on this course. And while we saw a record 8 beat the first stage, the second stage was again very difficult, as we saw a couple of wall climb fails, a couple of pole jump fails, and only 2, DHG Fireball and Weapon Matt, were able to make it to the third stage. And while Weapon Matt failed that jump there on the jumping rings, Fireball pushed through and was able to achieve the dream for all Halo jumping competitors, making the final stage. And while it was unfortunately a short-lived attempt, Fireball knows he has what it takes to make it to the final stage once again and reach the top of this stage and achieve total victory. But that's going to have to be for another day, as we come to the end of another great tournament. And we will see you once again for Tournament 4. Thanks for watching.